What's up, everyone? John Ranger from Techno Buffalo here, and as I like to do from time to time, I've got a movie review for you. I had the opportunity to go to the Terminator Genisys world premiere here in Los Angeles, and I wanted to share my thoughts and opinions on the movie. And I'm going to do my best to go completely spoiler-free. I'm only going to talk about plot points that you can see in the trailers. So I'm going to assume that you've seen the trailers, and at least I can talk about things that are at least in there and give my impressions on the acting, the plot, and really whether or not you should spend your money to go see Terminator Genisys. So let me give the preface that I love Terminator movies. I love the first Terminator. I always remember when my dad took me to go see Terminator 2. I even was like marginally okay with Terminator 3. I kind of lost a little bit of interest in Terminator Salvation, but the trailers for Genisys looked absolutely awesome. So a couple cool things about the movie. First, it was cool to have Sarah Connor back. Certainly missed the Linda Hamilton badass from T2, but Emilia Clarke does an average job in it. Although you can definitely hear her accent come through a little bit in it. It was also nice to not see her wear just a horrible blonde wig. Nice to actually see her normal hair color. If you watch Game of Thrones, you know what I'm talking about. That wig looks bad. It looked very, very bad. Arnold, who I think was the weaker part of T3, was actually really good in this movie. They made accounts for him aging and looking old. They made jokes about it. He had a sense of humor. He was the Arnold of old, the Arnold that we all loved and the Arnold that we all grew up with. He was probably the best part of this movie completely. So the general plot, I guess, that I can sort of talk about and give away, of course, there's Judgment Day, which is when Skynet sort of goes sentient and sort of blows up the world. There's a battle between humans and Skynet, and ultimately the timeline that we saw in Terminator 1, Terminator 2, and I guess Terminator 3, I don't think they even count Salvation, gets reset. So there's a brand new timeline, which obviously they're setting up for many more movies. There is a trilogy planned. So a new series of events, a new date for Judgment Day. Everything you knew about the previous Terminator movies has been completely reset, so forget all of that. The acting is relatively decent. Jason Clarke as John Connor I thought was pretty good. Hyde Courtney or Jai Courtney as Kyle Reese thought was great. If you guys used to watch the Spartacus TV show, he was the guy who had the blonde curly hair. I couldn't figure out where I knew him from. I had to go look at IMDb immediately. While the acting was fine, the plot of the movie is beyond silly. And taking out the part that involves time-traveling robots, the plot just made no sense. Talk about time travel, and they're just like, time travel words, nexus, and things have been reset. They make no account for things not making sense. There's just plot holes that you could fit, well, I guess, like a T-1000 through, making the movie very, not only hard to follow, but really hard to appreciate. For what is, though, an action movie, the action scenes were awesome. Special effects were great. I will say, though, there's a T-1000 in here, which was the same T-1000 that we saw in T2. It looked as good as it did in T2, which is to say that things looked awesome back when that movie first came out. But it was neat to see that again, to sort of see the liquid metal stuff happen. The whole plot point about John Connor, and you saw this in the trailer, so don't yell at me, sort of being a robot-esque was weird, and I don't know why they gave that away in the trailer. That was sort of the big turning point, sort of making him kind of the big bad guy. It was interesting. But there are scenes in the movie where Skynet is talking. Like, Skynet itself is like just talking. I won't say what it said, but it was just weird. It didn't make sense. As a fan and kind of, I guess, a purist of Terminator movies, I wouldn't waste your money in the theaters for this one. I'd wait till it comes out on Netflix. You want to buy it on Blu-ray or download it. It just wasn't worth seeing. The best part of the movie, we saw it with Dolby Atmos. The sound was incredible, but that was kind of the bad gist of it. The premiere was also in 3D, and the 3D I felt added absolutely nothing to it. So if you are going to go see it in theaters, maybe save a couple of bucks and don't bother seeing it in 3D. Arnold was awesome. So if you're an Arnold fan and you wanted to see him make jokes and give awkward smiles, go see the movie. If you're debating whether or not to go see something else or Terminator Genisys, I'd pass on it. They do explain why it's called Genisys and why it weirdly has a Y in it and not spelled the way you'd expect. So if you're worried about that, like I was, they explain it, but it still doesn't make that much sense at all. The movie for me gets a big C. Yeah, it's passing as an action movie, but it's not passing as anything that I really want to spend my money on, and I recommend you don't as well. And if you guys would rather see these movie reviews with spoilers, let me know. I can do that too. It'd probably be way easier than keeping everything spoiler free, but I love to do movie reviews. We're not going to do them all the time. I know you guys subscribe for tech stuff, but if you like the movie reviews, please give the video a thumbs up. Always appreciate it. I've sort of my loves in life, aside from my family, are tech, cars, sports, and movies. So to get the chance to talk about sort of movies on this channel is an awesome opportunity, and I'm thankful for it. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm trying to get better at movie reviews. It's not something that I do all the time, but I'm learning, and I'm taking your feedback to heart, so suggestions down below are always appreciated. If you guys are checking out the B shirt and you want to pick one up for yourself, hit the link down below. It's a limited edition run. By the time you watch this video, the shirts might already be gone. They're only available for just a few days. So if you want one of these B guys with the logo in the back, hit the link down below again. And Terminator Genisys, you should just go buy like a Sega Genesis and play that instead.